So Valve just dropped a $1,049 gaming PC the size of a lunchbox, and it's called the Steam Machine. And the internet immediately lost its mind. Some people are calling it a console killer, others are calling it an overpriced paperweight. But the truth is, it's neither of those things. It's kind of something way more interesting and way more complicated than anyone's giving it credit for. Let me break down what the Steam Machine exactly is, and whether you should care about it, especially if you already own a PS5 or an Xbox. So what even is the Steam Machine? Because even Valve seems a little confused about how to categorize it. The official Steam store page is live and you can go look at it right now, but it's honestly pretty bare bones. The real story comes from what's inside the box, and what Valve has been saying since they announced it back in November of 2025. And Valve has been pretty clear up until this point saying that this thing is not a console. They're calling it an entry-level gaming PC. And technically they're right, but let's be honest, it's a small box that plugs into your TV, runs a gaming focused operating system, and comes with a controller. It's almost like if it walks like a console and quacks like a console, hey, you see where I'm going. The Steam Machine comes in two configurations, a 512GB model at $1,049 and a 2TB model at $1,349. You can also bundle it with the Steam controller for an extra $79, which I guess if you're gonna buy the controller anyway, it's a good deal because if you buy it on its own, it's usually $99. Now, $1,049 is a lot of money. Everyone knows that. This might actually be one of those most genuinely interesting pieces of gaming hardware to come out in years. So the Steam Machine is a cube. It's about 6 inches on each side, so it's pretty small, especially when you compare it to other gaming consoles. It has a RGB light strip across the bottom that glows blue when you turn it on, and it blinks white when it goes to sleep. You can customize the color or turn it off completely if RGB isn't your thing. And the faceplate is magnetically attached. It kind of just pops right off. It comes with a plain black one pre-installed, but the 2TB model ships with 2 extra faceplates, and because the attachment is so simple, you know everybody and their mom is going to be making their own. There's a single fan in the rear, and that kind of sounds like a problem, but it's not really, because most of the inside of this cube is just a giant block of aluminum. Cold air comes in through the front, passes through those, and gets pushed straight to the back. If you compare that to the PS5, it is quite simple. For just a quick run through with the ports, the front has 2 USB-A ports and a micro SD card reader. That SD card reader is actually a bigger deal than it sounds. If you already have a Steam Deck, you can literally swap the SD card between the 2 devices and pick it up right where you left off. So that's a pretty nice touch. On the back, it's an HDMI port, power connector, Ethernet, and 2 more USB-A ports and 1 USB-C. So why is this thing worth $1,049? Inside the Steam Machine, you've got a 6-core, 12-thread Zen 4 processor. That's essentially Ryzen 5 7600 paired with RDNA 3 GPU with 28 compute units. Now on paper, that information would not be a high-end gaming PC. It's firmly entry-level to mid-range, but here's the thing, it's capable of more than the raw numbers suggest, mostly because of how efficient SteamOS is. Valve claimed that the Steam Machine can hit 4K at 60 frames per second with FSR. You're kind of trading plug-and-play simplicity for control. Valve has said a driver update is coming, so that should improve performance further. So let's get to the comparisons that you guys actually want to hear. So the PS5 and the Xbox Series X both sit around $400 to $500 depending on the model and the sales. The Steam Machine starts at $1,049. That's a $400 to $500 premium. For a console buyer, that's a deal breaker, full stop. As for performance, at medium settings, the Steam Machine produces visuals roughly compared to the base PS5 and Xbox Series X. But those consoles deliver a locked 60 frames per second with 0 tinkering. The Steam Machine gets you there, but you have to adjust settings per game. So it's not really that easy if you just want this seamless console experience. So next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is the game library. The Steam Machine has access to the entire Steam library, that's tens of thousands of games, plus the deep discounts Steam is famous for. PS5 and Xbox are locked to their respective stores. And over time, those Steam sales savings can offset the higher upfront costs, but only if you own a PC or you want to own a PC in the future. So versatility is the Steam Machine's killer feature. It's a Linux PC. You can actually plug in a keyboard and a mouse and use it as an actual computer. Coding, writing, browsing, it works. You can even install Windows if you want. A PS5 can't do that, an Xbox can't do that, so that's kind of another reason to justify its high price. So I also wanted to compare the Steam Machine to the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck OLED currently runs for $789 for the 512GB model, and $949 for the 1TB model. So the Steam Machine is about $150 to $260 more expensive than the comparable deck. Now, of course, it's two different things. One, you can actually play up on your TV. The other one is a handheld machine. It's a smaller device. The Steam Machine is way more powerful than the Steam Deck, pushing actual 4K to your television. If you want couch gaming on a big screen, the Steam Machine is the way better experience. But obviously, if you want to play games other places, then you should get the Steam Deck. But they both run on the SteamOS ecosystem. Your game library, your save files, your SD card are all interchangeable. You can start a game on your deck from anywhere, come home, pop the SD card into your Steam Machine, and keep playing on your 65-inch TV. And that I do think is pretty cool and pretty useful. I kind of wish the PlayStation had something like that. So I would say the biggest reason why the Steam Machine costs so much is because of the RAM. There's an ongoing RAM crisis, which I've talked about in previous videos, partly driven by hyperscale data centers hoarding memory for AI infrastructure. The 16 gigabytes of RAM inside the Steam Machine alone costs nearly $250 by itself on the open market right now. While Valve first announced the Steam Machine in November 2025, everyone assumed it would land around $800. Component prices had other plans. So is the Steam Machine overpriced? As a console, yes. As a PC, I would say it's competitively priced. They're pretty much selling it at cost, and the cost is just high right now. Or, I think one of my favorite reasons is if you already have the Steam Deck and you kind of want to have them interchangeable. But I would not buy this console if you're a console gamer who just wants to play FIFA and Call of Duty on the couch, or if you want maximum performance per dollar. Building your own PC will get you more for the same money, or if you need 4K with all settings max, this is not a high-end rig. The Steam Machine is not a console killer. It was never supposed to be. It's a gateway into PC gaming for people who are intimidated by building their own rig, and a living room companion for people who already live inside the Steam ecosystem. Is it perfect? No, and the price pretty much stings. And the 4K performance requires compromise. In the game library, while enormous, still has compatibility grips compared to native Windows. But it is the first generation, trying to bridge the gap between console and PC. But yeah, how do you guys feel about the Steam Machine? Are you guys looking to buy one? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Pause for now, play forever. AK out.